guys, so in today's trick, I just need a normal shuffle deck of cards. And what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to actually have the spectator find their own selected card from the deck by using both their impulse and their imagination. So let's see how this works out. So we have a deck of cards here, and what I need the spectator to do is first select a card. So what I'm going to do is hold the cards up like this. I'll go through the corners. All you have to do is just call out stop whenever you like, and I will turn my head away so I can't look or anything like that, okay? So the spectator can call out stop anywhere, but let's say right here at this card, okay? So please go ahead and remember that card the best that you can. I would actually hand the deck over to the spectator to shuffle. They can go ahead and give it as many shuffles as they like, just like this. So for the first part of this trick, in order for you to find your card, we need to test your impulse, okay? And this will give us a little bit of a hint at what your card is. So I'm just gonna pull out a couple of cards that will hopefully be able to help us out here. Let's see if I can get them. They're just the 4 aces I can show you. Over here, I think we got all of them, just like this. Okay, so the 4 aces, I can show you here, all 4 of them. We have here the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, the ace of hearts, and the ace of spades. So all 4 of these aces, we're just going to be using these in a little bit of an experiment. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to be laying out the 4 aces here on the table, and all I want you to do is find the suit of your card. So these 4 aces will represent the suit of your card. All you have to do is just use your impulse and choose the one that corresponds with your selection. So we can do this in many ways, but I'll just have the spectator just hold out their finger. They can touch any card. Let's say they touch this one, okay? Are you sure? They say yes, okay. Hold on to that card. Think of the suit of your card. And because you touched that card, I don't think your card was a club then. I also don't think that your card was a spade. And I also don't think your card was a heart, which means that your card was a diamond, right? Okay, great. So that was using your impulse to help locate one part of your card. But now we're gonna use the next part, which is your imagination, to find your card. So I just want you to hold the ace of diamonds over the deck like this, and just give it a little wave like that, and use your imagination. Imagine the ace of diamonds is going to cause your card to reveal itself inside of the deck. Just like that. If you use your imagination correctly, if I just spread out the cards here, look at that. You can see one card, and one card only in the deck has now reversed itself. 6 of diamonds, right? Perfect. Okay, great. So that was using your imagination to find your card, but now I want you to use your imagination for something truly impossible. I want you to imagine that you have the 6 of diamonds. And if you imagine hard enough, hopefully, that should mean that if I have the ace of diamonds now, that should mean that you have been holding your card, the 6 of diamonds. And that right there is the trick, guys. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you did, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. All right, guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So I really hope you guys liked that performance. And the backstory to this trick is I performed another version of this trick on my channel about a year or 2 ago. So that might be why some of you guys recognize this trick. But the handling in that older version, I rewatched it a few days ago and it was just terrible in my opinion. And I just wanted to refine it and make another version that just seemed a lot cleaner. So anyways, let's get right into the tutorial for how it's done. So all you need for this trick is a normal deck of cards. It can be a borrowed deck, but the cards can be completely shuffled, does not matter. And you're gonna start out this trick by telling the spectator that you're going to have them find their own card by using their impulse and their imagination. The first step is for them to select a card, and all you're gonna be doing is a really cool peek. And I believe I've taught this on my channel before. So if you wanna see an in-depth tutorial on that peek, go ahead and click right up here. But I'll give you a basic little overview of what it looks like. So all it is you're gonna bevel the cards a little bit like this. So you're just gonna angle the cards out, and you're gonna be riffling through the corners with your finger here, asking the spectator to say stop whenever they like. And when they say stop, they're gonna stop anywhere. Let's say the 3 of clubs in this case. All you're gonna do is take your pinky of your left hand that is holding the deck, and you're going to place it in the gap as you riffle the cards. And what that's gonna do is it's going to hold a little break exactly where they said stop. And all you have to do now is square up the cards, and what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be giving the cards over to the spectator to shuffle. You're gonna hold the cards on the left-hand side with your thumb and middle finger here. Maintain this pinky break because you're actually gonna use your thumb and middle finger here to rotate the cards. And as you do, the cards are just going to naturally sort of stick out where their card was, where the pinky break was. And this will allow you to secretly glimpse their card. So you do this turnover in the action of you handing the cards over to the spectator. And as you're handing the cards over to the spectator, you see 3 of clubs, and you just keep that in your head, and that is the card that they selected. So now they can shuffle the cards, and it doesn't matter because you already know what the card is. So once the cards have been shuffled, and once you know what their card is, you're going to be doing 2 things at once. So you're gonna get the cards back, and you're gonna tell the spectator for the first part of the trick, for the impulse part of the trick, I just need to get out some helper cards. You're going to be going through the cards, and you're going to be locating the 4 aces. And as you find them, you're just gonna out-jog them like this. Every single ace you find, you're going to out-jog it. As soon as you see the card that you peeked, the 3 of clubs, you're actually going to be culling this card, and you're going to be culling it underneath the deck. So you see the 3 of clubs, I'm gonna use my fingers here to cull it underneath the deck. In the action of culling their card, I'm going to actually lower my hands down and continue pulling out the aces if there are still any aces left. But what I've done now is when I square up the cards, it's actually going to control the spectator's card directly on top of the deck. So once I'm in this position, all I have to do is square up the cards and then pull out the 4 aces. So now all I have to do is reposition the aces, basically reorder them to be in the correct order. And all you have to do is remember the suit of their card, which is a club. The card that corresponds with the suit has to go on top, and then the other part is you have to also make the colors be alternating, black, red, or red, black. Once you have the aces in this new order, you're just going to be displaying them like this, and when you square up the cards, you're going to catch a break right underneath the 4 cards. Now at this point, you're going to be secretly slipping the ace of clubs in the center of the deck. All it's gonna look like is it's just gonna look like you're counting off the cards, but you're actually going to be transferring this pinky break to a thumb break like this. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna break off roughly half of the cards with your pinky down here. And you are going to be sliding the ace of clubs directly into the middle of the deck. And instantly, you're going to bring your hands back together and just let go of that middle part of the deck. And now you're just gonna come away with a thumb break, and you're gonna peel off the ace of hearts on top of the deck, the ace of spades on top of the deck, and the ace of diamonds on top of the deck. And at full speed, it looks like you're just counting the 4 aces, but you're actually secretly putting that ace of clubs in the center of the deck. But the spectator is not going to be able to see that, because when you do that break part in the middle, your hands are going to be lowered down like this. So they're only going to be able to see this, and it's going to look normal to them. So once you do that, I like to maintain the break as I continue counting the aces. So now I have a break right underneath the top 3 cards, and all I do here is I flip over the 3 cards as 1 card basically, and then I instantly spread off 4 cards, and it looks like these are just the 4 aces. What I do now is I set the deck down and I make sure to turn it face up, because this is the position for the deck that you want to be in for the end of the trick. So now I'm in this position. It looks like I have the 4 aces, but this is what I actually have. I actually have 3 aces and their selection on the bottom. So now I'm going to reposition the aces once more, and this is the same no matter what suit they choose. You're just going to split the cards 2 and 2 in each hand, and I'm going to display them like this. All I'm going to do is take the right hand cards and move them underneath. Then what I do is I'm going to reposition the cards, and I'm going to get ready for an Elmsley count. And an Elmsley count, I have a video tutorial for this as well, but all it does is it looks like I display 4 aces, but I'm also going to be secretly hiding this 3 of clubs at the same time. So it should look something like this. So once I've done that, I'm going to turn the cards back over and spread them out once again. And I'm going to split them back into 2 and 2 as well. And now what I'm going to do is take the top 2 cards from both hands, place them down in the middle, and then I'm going to take the bottom 2 cards and place them on the other sides. So if I've done this correctly, their card should be this card right over here, the 3rd card from the left side here, the 3 of clubs. All I have to do is remember that this is their card. And now I'm gonna be teaching you guys 2 ways that you can force the spectator to choose this card. So there's an easy way and an advanced way. So the way that I did it in the performance was actually the advanced way. You're just hoping that the spectator touches this card. So you tell the spectator, go ahead and touch any card. So if they touch this card, then you're done. You don't have to do anything. But if they touch any other card, then you're gonna go into a psychological force type routine or a magician's choice type thing, where, let's say if they choose this card, you tell them, okay, now take your other hand, place it on another card. And if they choose 2 cards that aren't their cards, you just tell them, okay, slide those away. And you have 2 left, so go ahead and touch either one. If they touch this one, you say, okay, keep. Get rid of this one. If they touch this one, then you say, okay, we'll get rid of it. Basically, all you're doing is eliminating every single card except the spectator's card. But there's actually a much easier way to do this if you guys are interested. And what this version looks like is you tell the spectator to name a number between 1 and 4. Now, most of the time, the spectator is going to name either 2 or 3 because you tell them to name a number between 1 and 4. So naturally, they're just going to be saying 2 or 3. If they say 1 and 4, then just continue with the psychological force. So eliminate all the ones except this one. But if they say 2 or 3, then you're going to count either from left to right or right to left, depending on if they say 2 or 3. So for example, if they say 3, you say, okay, great, 1, 2, 3. That's their card. But if they say 2, you say, okay, 1, 2, and there's their card. So as you can see, it doesn't matter what number they name, you'll always land on this card. So you guys can force this card any way you like, but let's just pretend that they have chosen this card, and you tell them that this is the impulse part of the trick, that they're trying to find the suit of their card. So now you flip over the other 3 cards that they didn't choose, and of course these 3 are not going to match the suit that they chose. So this tells me that your card is a club, correct? And they're going to say yes. And now this card is still face down, and you don't want it to be turned over because this is the end reveal of the trick. So you tell them to hold the ace of clubs face down in their hand, and you tell them to wave it over the face down deck, and you just tell them to hold on to it face down. You can even tell them to do it with both hands, and this will ensure that they don't hold it with one hand and then flip their wrist over, because if they hold it with 2 hands, it's a lot harder to do that, and it's not a natural thing. So they can shake it over the deck, and all you do now is you spread out the cards, and look, there's now 1 face down card. Now all you have to do is go back in time in your head, and you have to remember the card that you peeked in the beginning, because now you're going to be pretending that this card is their card. I remember that I peeked the 3 of clubs, so I'm going to pull this card out, and I'm not going to turn it over. I'm just going to look at it myself and say 3 of clubs, right? They're going to say yes. I'm going to say, okay, perfect. But I'm not even going to turn this over. I'm just going to look at it myself and say 3 of clubs. And now all I have to do is say, and now I want you to imagine something truly impossible. I want you to imagine that you're actually holding the 3 of clubs. And I say that as I turn over this card, and that's just a super surprising moment right there. And then once I do that, they're instantly going to want to look at the card in their hand, and they are going to freak out when they see they have the 3 of clubs in their own hands. And yeah, so that is the trick, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a really cool trick. I'm very glad I refined the handling, because the old handling was very, very clunky and it just did not look very good. But this version, I think it looks a lot better, and it will definitely fool your friends and family. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and see you guys next time. Bye.